idols?
Your idol.
First
Hyde.
off, Hyde is not my idol. Actually,
You had like 3 Hyde t-shirts in college. You had
mm-mm.
like Hyde's the man, smoking like Hyde, and I'm Hyde Tide.
No, actually, the crazy part when that 70's show, I always wonder why do they have this random hobo in their house? Like, why was he living there? Where's his parents? Nobody loves him.
He didn't have parents. He was an orphan.
Explains a lot. Explains a lot.
It was like when our when our friend Jesus came to town. He came with no family, no nothing, and we take him in.
Horrible. But if you didn't know, Danny Masterson was finally sentenced 30 years in prison for the R word to his previous girlfriends. That happened a long time ago.
Supposedly was charged for, or he was on trial for like taking advantage of 3 of his girlfriends, let's just say. And one of them that was the statute of limitations, so they couldn't do anything about. But then they charged him in the second 2. But actually, the first time was a mistrial. It didn't go through, but then they tried him again, and they convicted him on those 2 counts that they could on the second trial, and he got sentenced to 30 years. I think like 15 years apiece. So he got sentenced to 30 years.
And it was a whole crazy story, especially in the courthouse. The courthouse was telling how it was times where the girls were being, because Danny Masterson, he believes in Scientology, so the girls that he attacked
allegedly, hearsay is that like they were being stalked by like the Scientology people, and like the girls were being messed with by like the Scientology
they killed
people.
her dog.
Oh yeah, and then they killed her dog.
They killed her pork chop.
Yeah. Supposedly she got like one of the girls that was his ex-girlfriend that he did that to, was with her new dude, and like their dogs like kept on getting poisoned. So it was like really weird stuff. They believe that it wasn't just Masterson acting as himself. They believe it was Scientology messing with her because she wouldn't cooperate or just let things go, that she actually wanted to go after him. So super crazy, intense case. Such an intense case that I do believe that they will make a movie after probably what happened here, or a true crime story, or Netflix or something. Y'all know y'all want to see it on Netflix, you little true crime freaks.
Facts. I would have never guessed that he did something like he would have did something like it. Especially, I would have thought it would have been the foreign kid, Fez. But I mean,
remember Fez had the TV show on his own where they would do like, was it freestyles?
Yeah, I remember that show. I don't know why he was on that.
Put in the comments below. I don't remember what that show was called.
But moving on to the next topic.
No, but you know what made this case even worse?
What?
It's his cohorts.
Cohorts?
Cohorts. It's like friends.
Co-hosts?
Cohorts.
Cohorts?
That means like friends.
But cohorts.
Cohort. Cohorts. Teach this man English. He's from the islands. But speaking of someone that's way out there, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
Are they
Danny
married?
Masterson, they are married. Judge letters of support to get him a reduced time, and they got exposed. A bunch of other celebrities got exposed for basically writing letters to the judge to say that he was a good person, or they never saw him act crazy, or this or that he should be freed, or get like minimal time. And they're receiving huge backlash because supposedly Ashton Kutcher deals with like child T, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, the when
protecting
you're
children,
trafficking.
yeah.
But basically, yeah, he deals with that and trying to stop that, and has organizations that are trying to stop that. And it's like, how you going to stop that? But then your friends over here doing this, and you don't even go against him. You're actually trying to get him free. So he's basically getting called a hypocrite and a flip-flopper, just like my co-host when he betrayed the Eagles last season in the Super Bowl. But make sure you check that out on TFTC Sports. But we got the video clip here, so we're going to check it out. We're going to move out of the way and see what's going on.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read, and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape.
Man, what do you think? We got our mics back on. So, what's going on with Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, co-hosts? What are you thinking about them?
Like, what's wrong with helping your friend? I thought everybody helped.
I just want to get their picture back.
I thought everybody helped out their friend in a time of need. All they were talking about was things that they saw when they used to hang around with them. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure when all the bad things were happening, they wasn't around there to see all that stuff occur. So, I mean, like, them writing a letter saying, hey, you know, when I seen him, he was an outstanding person. He didn't do any of this. He didn't do any of that. And even though the court is saying, like, oh, no, he's this person. We have proof on this. Like, he ain't do that around me. So, I mean, I really can't say, like, I can't really say that, like, he did that around y'all. So, I mean, it's real confusing, especially, like...
It puts you in a tough place because you want to help your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And if your friend's denying it, then you're going to want to believe your friend. But if there's evidence saying that he did it, and then I ain't really deep dived in the case. So if you had, put in the comments below, let us know what's going on, what you've seen with the case. But I was actually checking out a video earlier today on someone that did do a deep dive, and they said there was no circumstantial evidence. It was really more off the testimony of his exes and like them saying like the dog's getting poisoned and this and
like
that
a retrial
and all that. Because it was a retrial. The first one was a mistrial, so it was all of that. So it's weird, that there really isn't any evidence, but they do kind of have all this testimony. So I guess the testimony was so explicit that it really didn't leave any doubt.
So, but
and especially if someone's hurting dogs that have nothing to do with it, I believe that they should be punished. And shoot, I would even punish them even more if that has any truth, that you're hurting animals, especially innocent animals. You're committing like sin on top of sin on top of sin. So if it is the truth that all this bad stuff happened, he definitely deserved the punishment.
Okay, so all right, so that's how I'm gonna act from now on. So from now on, every time I see one of these innocent moms being on the news, being like, "Kenny was a good boy, he did nothing," I'm like, "Shut the f up, mom. Kenny killed 2 people and he used to sell weed. He's a menace to society."
You saw what happened to FBG Duck's mom. She was trying to say her son was a saint, and then someone ran over her with a car. So, it kind of does happen.
That's a karma. That don't count. But everybody always says the positive about somebody. Like, I understand why they're upset, but I feel like this is just something that you can't please everybody. Like, no matter what you do, somebody's gonna find something negative to say about it, because at the end of the day, if it was them, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't want their mom to be like, "Oh yeah, this person was a shitty person."
Well, yeah, your mom or your friend or your spouse is always gonna support you, especially if you had like a secret life or did stuff that you didn't, put out there. So I can kind of, see that, but they're getting a lot of hate. They even had to mute their comments on their Instagram because people were talking so much trash about them. And,
you can tell.
I wonder if this is going to affect their career.
And you can
they showed them support. It's just, it's kind of, people were even getting at them because they said in the apology that this wasn't supposed to get out. It was just supposed to be for the judge's eyes only. So people are getting at him for that,
and people were getting at him about like, "Oh yeah, the apology wasn't enough. It didn't feel sincere enough." And I'm looking like, 9 times out of 10, the way they looking here, they looking like they just got out of bed. Like
some people believe that was like part of it, that they were their PR team was like, "Look like you're tired."
No, not look like you're tired. Like they probably like just woke up and the PR team was like just on their butt about like, "I need to send out an apology video. I need to do this. I need to do this." And they're like, "All right, we'll do it. We just gotta like just drop it right now." And they just like did it. Cause they
just wanted to get on top of it right away.
Yeah, just get on top of it right away. But at the end of the day, we know exactly what they were trying to do. This is somebody that they did a TV show with when they were like kids. They did like 8, 9 seasons or longer.
You know what's the worst part of it is
What?
they were bringing back that 70s show like interview clips from back in the day, because Mila Kunis, the girl, she lied about her age to get on the show. She was actually 14 when she was on the show. She wasn't like 18 like she said. So like she was even talking like, oh, Ashton Kutcher was like they were doing kiss scenes and he was like 18 or 19 and I was like 14, and she was like, tell him what Danny told you. Tell him what Danny, and Danny's the dude that got tried. And she was like, oh yeah, like he didn't want to talk about it, but she was like, Danny made a bet with him and like told him to French kiss me and all this stuff. So like all those like old clips are coming back and like making them even look worse. But also you got to remember how different the comedy was back then. That was more like open comedy. And then they had the clip of Ashton Kutcher on Punk saying Hillary Duff's one of the girls that we all can't wait to hit 18, like the Olsen twins.
No, forget all that.
That
You
was
remember,
bad.
No, you remember the Lil Wayne song, I Wish I Can F Every Girl in the World? And it was like holla at Miley Cyrus, Mac Man, talking about Miley Cyrus.
And Mac Miller?
No, Mac Man. The song I Wish I Can F Every Girl in the World.
Yeah, I know the song.
And remember Mac Man was like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, Miley Cyrus holla at me when you 18. And then everybody got on like, oh my God, he's trying to hit on Miley Cyrus. She was underage.
Yeah.
But I mean, with this whole situation, I feel like they were just trying to help out a friend. I mean, like, yeah,
It sucks how like I love the show. I watch the show and it's like the whole cast is like going down in like people's opinion.
and then like at the end of the day, like it didn't help at all. He got 30 years plus more, so he's still going to jail for the rest of his life. So what?
So don't drop the soap, Danny.
So what? His friends wrote a letter saying like, hey, you
It's weird though, like people that attack, like you usually hear about people attacking strangers. It was kind of weird that he was attacking all his girlfriends. So he was real creep and trying to use his power allegedly. So it seems like that's what it came out from it. Who knows? What's actually the truth. Put in the comments below what you think. Do you believe
But I feel
that
like this is a
Ashton
normal
Kutcher and
Hollywood
Mila
thing.
Kunis deserve another chance, that they're just trying to help their friend that they knew there for a long time, for like most of their life, or should they be chastised for supporting someone? Kathy Griffin actually came out and said that her brother was someone that did that to randomly to people, and
that's who that white lady was?
she even tried to turn him in. Yeah, that comedian.
That's crazy. See, it's just too much with this whole situation. Like it's like some people feel like they're just wrong for this. Like you shouldn't help a friend out doing this, things like that. But I thought it was all about like if something happened in public and your friends got in an argument, you defend them in public.
I
but
guess it just
behind
depends
closed doors,
what it
you
is.
say you was wrong.
Everyone's supposed to have limits. Like they doing something that's wrong, like what Danny was sentenced about,
Uh-huh.
or if they're doing